What? Playoffs!
Playoffs?
Playoffs. Playoffs.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs!
Alright, do we have it all out of our system now? We can actually say the word. Playoffs.
Wait.
Playoffs?
Okay, let's go.
Alright, so you're listening to Redvolution Rampage, home of the greatest podcast for the Carolina Hurricanes playoff team.
Yeah.
I snuck it in there one more time.
Playoffs.
And every other playoff team we have in North Carolina. We have a bunch.
Yes, and we'll get it through all that. We'll talk about the first two games in Washington. We'll discuss a little bit about the NWHL and the folding of the CWHL and what comes out of that. We'll talk
there's
about
some interesting stuff in there.
Absolutely. We'll talk about some new upcoming things in PNC Arena. And I think we'll have some time for some fun discussions. Oh, yes. So, all that.
Punch it, Kurt.
After this. Alright. So, where do you guys want to start? There's a lot to unpack here.
Well, we can start with the game today.
Feels like Christmas, man. Got a lot to do.
You want to start with today back?
Yeah, I mean, we just got back from the game as well.
Yeah, we
So
watched it here.
We did. So we just finished watching Game 2 of the Stanley Club Playoffs. The Stanley Club Playoffs.
That's it? That's how we're doing it now?
Stanley Club. Sounds like a horse race.
Alright, the Stanley Cup Playoffs, Game 2 against the Washington Capitals, along with their extra players, also known as the referees.
Oh my god.
Seriously?
Both these games have been ridiculous with the striped shirts. It's been ridiculous.
We're getting new refs.
So here's the thing, like, I hope so. But, I mean, if you look at the penalties, I mean, you know, Washington actually took more penalties than us, although because of the outlandish call on Furland, I mean, honestly, if you had called that out on Walmart a high stick, okay, no big deal. Walmart did high stick him.
Well, that was Fogle.
Fogle?
Fogle hit him with the high stick.
Was it Fogle or Walmart? Doesn't matter. What I'm saying is Furland did not aim for the dude's head. I mean, how can you call him a headshot if the dude's like kissing the numbers on Furland's back? And that's the thing. When it comes to match,
no suspension there. If they do try to suspend them, they continue to appeal as soon as it happens.
For real. And here's another thing. When it comes to like match penalties, why not review those? That's a big decision in the game.
Sure. I mean, why did he go out for 5 minutes? And he never came back, right?
No. He's match penalty. He's gone for the game. Right. So you now Brind'Amour's got to, and that's a guy in the second line. Now Brind'Amour's got to redo his entire roster early in the game.
He did really well with it, but
credit to him.
The meltdown. The meltdown that Rod had, it will go down in Kane's gift history. That was amazing.
Well justified.
Well, absolutely well justified. The refs are completely disrespecting the Carolina Hurricanes. They're disrespecting Rod Brind'Amour, disrespecting this young team because they're not called Ovechkin, because their names aren't TJ Oshie, because their names aren't Superstar, because they're not Crosby. And I absolutely am disgraced at the NBC call of this game. That is a national embarrassment, and I'm livid at them. I'm glad they blocked me on Twitter. I'm not even mad anymore. I was upset a little bit, but now you know what?
We're still gonna do it. # for you, Omar.
But
well,
honestly,
I think they're really biased because they're defending champions. But
where's parity?
Still.
Where's unbiasedness? Where's parity in this league?
Yeah, you're not supposed to be biased.
There's a reason. The reason the NHL fell off years ago is because the same team kept winning again and again and again. And if you weren't fans of that team, you didn't care. You stopped caring.
Yeah.
Just like why would I
want to watch the same team over and over again? There has to be some sort of balance. Let's talk about how this is the reason why you've got huge fan bases in Montreal and maybe like the Islanders and Pittsburgh is because, you know, those are the teams that won several times in a row. Everyone else is just like, do we get a turn?
And luckily the Canes did get their turn in 06, but now they're trying to fight for another one, and things just don't seem to go their way. But today, things didn't go their way. They fought through it. They tied the game twice in the third period. Well, once in the second, once in the third. But it was still both games are very
really
hard-fought games.
I really think the Seals
They kept up with the Stanley Cup champions. Now, I don't think,
especially called the rookie 2 goals in the third period of game 1. The kid is going to be a major part of the Canes for the future. We need to lock him down. We do have him for a few years. Now we need the pieces to fall.
Speaking of people we need to lock down, Aho broke his freaking goal drought.
He did it from behind the goal line.
Hey, I'll take any goal, dirty goal, freaking cheesy goal. Honestly, there's only one goal in this entire series that hasn't been like a dirty. It was a straight up goal, and that was Stahl. No, I'm talking about our goal that we scored.
Oh yeah, that was.
And I think it was Stahl's goal, just because it was a nice, clean deflection.
Well, when Andres for both in the first game, they would be pretty clean.
Well, the first one was straight in the paint, and then maybe the second one was a nice slapper from the point. But
either way, we came up short both games. Everybody's already yelling, "Oh, we're gonna get swept! Oh, we're gonna get swept!" Remember what happened in 06?
That's right. We lost the first 2 games in 06 against the Canadiens.
Mm-hmm. We put in Cam Ward. We won 4 straight.
You think we can? But here's the thing: Mrazek hasn't played terrible.
No.
It's just a broken system in front of him, and I don't know if it's the offense because the offense is working on his defense because Saban's been amazing.
Well, it doesn't help when in game 1 you have 2 power play goals in the first period within 5 minutes of each other.
The refs have been honestly when the Capitals shot that and won that overtime goal, the refs I can promise you they all breathed a big sigh of relief. They're like, all right, we're good, guys.
Oh no, Rod's still probably yelling at them. He's probably following their car, yelling at them.
He's running down the highway with them, like screaming. They're driving 60 on the highway, like how is he keeping up? But it's Rod the Bud.
It's Rod's Bud. He ran the 5K with us, and that dude still fit as heck. Oh my gosh. I would love to see anybody try to keep up with him today.
I mean,
if you're not in shape, you're not keeping up with that dude. I saw Omar try to keep up with him, and it didn't work.
No, I'm not in shape.
The military man.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, we're all right. We're coming home. This could be a game changer, right? You got 3 of the next 4 games at home. You know, you have an advantage. Ride that wave. Ride the crowd. It's going to be a good crowd in PNC.
Oh, I'm issuing a challenge right now because I know this episode will be coming out before Game 3. I'm trying to get it out tonight, the night of the recording. So, depends on when I get home. But I'm issuing a challenge to all Caniacs out there. It's going to be a blackout. Wear all black if you can. If you can't, just wear a black t-shirt.
Wear your bunch of jerk shirt.
Wear your bunch of jerk shirt.
Wear your black jerseys.
Wear black. Get those rally towels out. Wave them hard. Scream all game. Cheer your team. This is the first time we've had a playoff game inside PNC Arena this decade. Mm-hmm. Now, break the sound barrier. The Canes have had times in the playoffs where we had 107 decibels in that building, which is at the time.
The sound barrier is speed, you know that, right?
The sound barrier as in the record for indoor arena, which I believe is 112 at the moment.
All right, so
I mean, it's gonna be. It looks like it's almost completely sold out.
It's gonna be a madhouse.
If anything, it's all resale tickets at this point.
Hopefully, you know the support, the crowd, the noise, it will light that fire under our guys. That they've already had a fire lit under them, but I'm hoping it gives them the energy that they need, the support and the.
Oh yeah, they'll know that they have support because there's people waiting for them at the airport right now. There's people waiting for them, even though they're down 2 games to nothing. These fans are still loyal. They're still passionate. Yes, if you go on social media, you'll find some that are abandoning ship. But guess what?
Why would you abandon now?
It's not worth it. And you still got 2 home games at least, And Yes, the Canes went into Washington trying to get a split. That was their plan.
They almost did.
They almost did. And honestly, they were hampered by terrible officiating. They lost a man early in the game because of terrible officiating. The Capitals didn't score on a power play, but there were times where right before a goal, the Capitals they played like they couldn't get called on. And quite honestly, the Canes got played like everything will get called on them, because pretty much that is what happened. The refs never blinked, never missed. And can you believe that Washington fans were chanting "Ref, you suck" in what?
Yeah. One massive thing that, Amanda, I know you're going to agree with me on this one, is when they come back for games 3 and 4, let's assume they win 3 and 4. Tied series, you go to Washington, how much of a momentum swing would it be for that to happen? You go with both games at home, and you go to Washington. They're going to be super emotional because they tied it up. It's going to be an emotional high. If the Canes can take Game 5 in Washington, I don't even care if they can win one game at home and go to Game 5 in Washington, and a do-or-die situation, basically. They're going to fight for their lives. They're fighting for their lives even now. That game was amazing in the second and third period, especially because the Canes were so much down, and they came through it.
Yeah.
Yes, they lost in overtime, but...
Yeah, but they got to overtime.
Yeah, and most people thought we weren't going to get that.
Get there. Yeah. They're going to do some hot things in the next couple of games, I think.
They better.
So,
they better for the fans.
All right, so here's something interesting. Ready for this? 06. Game 1, we lost 6-1. Game 2, we lost 6-5 in overtime.
Martin Gerber was in goal. We pulled him for Cam Ward.
So, we didn't pull anyone this game. And I don't think Mrazek needed to be pulled at all. That was a very tight, very clean played game. And honestly, we should have won, could have won. And I think, honestly, if with fair officiating, this is a completely different game.
We still got ways to go, though.
All right, enough. I'm done with talking about the past here when it comes to this. I mean, let's go back to some positives. They finished the season strong. They didn't draw Tampa. We drew the Capitals, but somehow Columbus is
2-0
on Tampa.
What is going on with the Lightning?
I don't know. I think they're done.
Booed them off the ice.
I think they forgot that there's more hockey after winning the President's Cup. I think they confused the President's Cup. I think they confused the President's Trophy with the Stanley Cup.
See, this is why you don't touch this President's Trophy, Stamkos. You are now cursed.
No, I guess.
Well, Kucherov is banned not banned, but suspended for 1 game.
Yeah,
for a dirty hit on the boards.
Yeah, defensive player hit. But now, I don't know. If Columbus wins that series, it turns this playoffs upside down.
Oh, everybody's bracket is.
No, it'll mess up a lot of people's brackets. But I mean, for me, I had that series going 7 games, and I had the Bruins beating the Bolts anyways. So I mean, I think the Bruins are still going to come back and beat the Leafs.
Leafs are already up 1-0.
I mean, I had the Leafs and the Bruins going 6 games, so that's. But anyways, beyond the brackets, because we're gonna do a whole episode about the brackets.
Oh, you already put yours on YouTube, yeah.
I did. So yes, go check us out on YouTube. We got some cool videos there. Hopefully, some more coming out.
When Kyle comes back, he wants to do a lot of skits. So
yes, so
wow.
Go on YouTube, look up Redvolution Rampage, hit the subscribe button, and enjoy some great stuff there.
I'll be in one eventually.
Eventually.
Because I think we're recording right now. The Preds and the Stars are playing. They're tied at 1.
And almost to the end of the second, tied at 1. Dallas is currently 1 game.
Who do you guys think going to take that game?
If the Preds win, I don't know. I'm going with your boy Toy here.
I'm all about the Preds. Yeah.
Sure.
No, you're all about Subban.
Well.
I like PK off the ice.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, we gave him stuff for the pod, so we got to cheer for him.
Right. And Becker Rene's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And our boys over at Music City Gold.
Yes.
But still, I think Preds can make it to the next.
I have the Preds taking that series. What's the number I got for them there?
Let's
6 games. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but then you have them losing to the Blues in the next round.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The Blues 2-0.
Yeah, I mean the Blues are playing well. They're playing the way we should be playing, which is playing with a chip on your shoulder and nothing to prove.
Well, the Canes, what they need to do, they're key for the game in the third period. Win the first. They've won the second and third both games, but they are just off the terrible starts in the first period.
Yeah, I think we need to come out of the first period in the next two games with the lead and just hold it.
Just keep it as a tie or 1-0.
And then what you do is we take the next two games at home, we deflate them, we go into Washington for the third, take that, and then come back home to a very raucous crowd, ready to rock and roll and move on to the next round. And I'm still holding on to my prediction the Canes take this series in 6. I'm thinking it's very doable to take the next 4 games. 3 out of 4 at home. You just need to take that one against Capitals.
Holtby has shown holes, and their defense isn't doing very well.
Holtby's going to wear himself out, and the thing is, I can trust McElhaney to play a game or two. Can Capitals say the same about Holtby?
No.
Copley?
I have no idea. I literally had no idea who the heck that guy was before he mentioned them.
Really, I don't even know who the backup is. They rely so much on Holtby.
Right, and I think Holtby is going to wear, and welcome to Stanley Cup playoffs. It happens. It's a best out of 7. It's not a single game. This is not in the NFL.
Well, we've been talking about playoffs all this podcast, but guess what? There's more than one.
That's right. So let's go to the Checkers. How are they doing?
Well, they finished the season with 110 points in the AHL. They clinched the best record in the AHL.
110, you say?
Yeah.
Is that even legal?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. With the AHL, I actually did some research. They have a lot of trophies.
Right.
So this is legit happening. They have a trophy for winning their division.
Yep.
They have a trophy for winning their conference, and they have a trophy for having the best record in the AHL.
Yep.
They have 3 trophies right now, and they can get 2 more with winning their conference in the playoffs and winning the Calder Cup. And it's all being led in the back by considerably the best AHL goalie that the Canes have had in a very, very long time, and Alex Nedeljkovic.
Ned is ready.
Ned is ready, but I would love to see Ned holding up a little silver at the end of the season before coming back up to the NHL.
Bring in winning mentality and a championship mentality, and I think that's what's going to be part of developing a true kind of, I don't want to say dynasty, because I don't know if we're going to win Cup as a dynasty. Again, I'm all about parity, but
I don't care. I just
a
want
consistent playoff presence. We're making the playoffs is another day in the office.
I believe in our 21-year history as Hurricanes, we've only made the playoffs 6 times. And in those 6 times, we made the Stanley Cup Finals twice.
Right. I mean, and we've made the Eastern Conference Finals
3 times.
3 times. So you're talking about 50% chance of making the conference finals and a 33% chance of making the Stanley Cup playoffs and a 16% chance of winning the cup. But however, we're not done, because we're not out by any means.
Oh, and the Checkers by no means are out. I mean, they're just starting their run for the Calder Cup, and even if the Canes are out, I believe any Hurricanes fan should immediately jump ship to the Checkers.
It's not jumping ship. It's
okay. Moving on to our AHL team.
It's moving over now.
Yeah, we should all just start driving down to Charlotte, pack out Bojangles Coliseum, and see them raise some silver.
Absolutely.
But again,
it gives people a chance to learn these guys and what they're good at. Because there's another thing. Have you watched Martin Mitchell play recently?
Oh yeah.
Especially on the power play.
Have you seen Gutierrez?
Gutierrez has been amazing, but Martin Mitchell, he's Ovechkin. He's got that. I'm not kidding. He's done it like 4 or 5 times already, where he sits in Ovechkin's office and takes that slap pass and he nails it. And I'm starting to think that if
he get a little bulk, he'll be a clone.
A little fuzzy gray beard and.
I'm excited for our future. No matter what happens with this
we can
season,
we can get swept here, and we're still in an excellent position to keep coming back, because this is a year where a lot of people had us down and out. Oh, another rebuild. My only concern is that The Rangers and the Devils have the first 2 picks of the upcoming draft. Have you seen Hughes' face when they said it was the Devils? And he's just like, what? Because they're like, I could have gone to the because he knew he wanted to go to the Rangers because at that point it was the Rangers and Devils as possible 1 or 2, and you could see in his face that he was not happy with the Rangers, with the Devils being the pick. He'd rather have gone to the Rangers, and the Rangers are in good position to bounce back because most likely not just Lundqvist. I mean, they're most likely. I mean, they're gonna get a really good pick at number 2. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's one of those K names. But honestly, they're gonna get Adam Fox. Right? I don't know what they're gonna give up for him. I'd rather see a second overall pick and a prospect. Not second overall, but second round pick and a prospect. But they're gonna get him, right? Because that's the only place he's willing to play right now. And he's a spoiled brat, and he's gonna get what he wants. He's a Harvard spoiled kid. Will he play well? I don't know. There's a lot of times where these kids.
Doesn't he play for Boston College?
No, Harvard.
Even worse.
Right, and he's just a spoiled kid. He's from New York. That's why he's from Long Island, but he'd rather play. But he's a big Ranger fan.
Yeah. Well, enough with him. Enough with him. I hear so many people talk about him, like why we haven't signed him, why we haven't signed him.
We're not gonna sign him.
I'm done. I'm done talking about him.
I'd rather get a good return from him. That's what I'm looking forward now. Trade him over to someone to get a good return from. I mean, we can be really petty about it. Just hold on to him until he goes to free agency, and that way he loses 2 possible. He's already lost 1 year that he could have burned on his entry level contract. If he signed with us, he could have been playing right now, and that would have burned off. And that could have burned off 1 of his years of his entry level, so he can actually get paid. But now we can hold on to him until his 2020 free agency, and then he won't start his ELC until the 2021 season. But
I like the petty idea. What about Amanda?
My eyes are crossing. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
just go with the petty option.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. For those of us who are not tracking, when a new player signs, he has to sign the entry level contract, which is capped. He can only get paid. I think it's like $975,000 per year to play at the NHL level. However, and that has to be at least 3 years, or 2 or 1 year depending on the age, but he's still young enough where it will be 3 years. Even when he hits free agency, it'll still be 3 years. And players like to burn through him, right? So Svechnikov, he's on an ELC. Aho's finishing off his last year at the ELC, which is why he's about to get paid.
Isn't Nietzsche still on his?
Yeah, Nietzsche is on his. He's on his second year technically. Once they get all that done and out of the way, then they can get actually paid what they're worth. And for that matter, if the Canes really want to be petty, instead of trading him for someone, they can just hold on to him until he's ready to sign or he's ready to move on, and that won't happen until 2021.
Heck, he could end up in the SPHL for all we know.
Hey, you said it right this time.
Yeah, I actually did. I said it right. But
speaking of SPHL,
speaking of that, we got our boys down in the Fayetteville Marksmen. They're in the playoffs for the first time as the Marksmen.
Right, and they're facing off against the Binghamton Devils, which are
they won.
They
won.
did.
Game 1, 4-0.
It's also Binghamton Devils' first playoff series as well. So I know there's going to be some people who are like, well, hold up. They used to be the Fire Ants, and the Fire Ants made the playoffs. Hell, they won their championship once. It's true. They are the same team. However, just like Hartford didn't move its accolades to the Carolina Hurricanes, the Fire Ants did not move their accolades to the Marksmen. So yes, it's a fact. It won't. And as a fact, it is going to be the Marksmen's first playoff game and their first playoff win. They beat the Binghamton Devils 4-0.
Now they gotta win one more because it's a weird system.
It's a best out of 3, at least for this round. And what's funny is that the top number 1 seed in that division already got knocked out by, I think they work it out where the top 4 teams, the top 3 teams
pick their
opponents, and I think the top team took the 5th team. So the 5th team knocked them out.
I believe it was the Roanoke Rail Dogs.
Or they took the 8th team, Roanoke Rail Dogs. there's a lot of fans around here who enjoy these teams.
Yeah.
They might not be available marksman fans because we got fans up in Virginia who listen to go to the Roanoke Rail Dogs games. There's a lot of good hockey in and around North Carolina.
Yep.
So
And then we
take
have
full
the
advantage of that.
FHL, the Thunderbirds are in
the
the
Federal
playoffs,
Hockey League, yeah.
and they're going ham. They've gone ham all year. They've gone ham all year, and we're not expecting anything different. Go ham in the playoffs.
Amanda's like, this is not a kosher remark.
Yeah.
The Bennington Devils, aren't they an AHL team?
No.
No.
Well, technically yes, but it's a different Binghamton.
Oh.
This one's down in Alabama.
Yes, Binghamton, Alabama.
That's where I was confused.
And they're not the Devils, they're the Bulls. Correction, people. They're the Binghamton Bulls. Correction.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, I got mixed up, same as you with the Devils of the...
Devils.
Yeah. No, these are the Binghamton Bulls.
Man, that's some
That's
bull
New York.
beat.
Okay. That's what I was like.
Did you just bleep yourself?
Yep. Self-censorship.
Self-censorship.
Gotta keep it a little PG here.
Okay, sure.
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay, but not only do we have a lot of playoffs going on, we got some weird situation with league reformation, league additions, league folding. What's going on? We have this whole women's hockey situation going on in 2 different countries, and
Those countries are Japan and Indonesia.
Hey, don't mess with Japan. They actually did well in the women's juniors.
Yes, and now it's going to be Finland and United States of America.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, not Canada.
U.S. beat Russia 8-0 today.
It wasn't worth watching. It was 2-0.
We watched some of that, and we'd blink and look over, and it's like, oh, now it's 6-0.
Last time
Wait,
they
what?
played Russia, they beat them 10-0.
Yeah, when I was watching, it was
So-
like 10 minutes left in the second period. They were up 2-0, and then I turn around, turn back, and it's 5-0.
They have shut out Russia, Japan. No,
Sweden?
they've shut out Russia and Japan.
Oh, okay. But still, them getting to this point. Now, Finland beat Canada. Huge deal for the Finland women.
Yeah.
Now, will they continue that with the final with the Americans? I don't know. But it's interesting to see because these junior championships usually escalate, especially now that the NHL players aren't allowed to play in the Olympics. So with the women's side, all these juniors are pretty much the Olympic team, pretty much, with some additions. And then in the men's
Of the right age.
Yeah, and then the men's side, pretty much half of those players are the future Olympic team, except for the Russians.
Well, yeah, and then those are. It'd be interesting
I'd like to
see
a Canada-USA matchup.
I would too, but we didn't get it.
It's all right. I mean, I
now.
think Finland USA might be a little bit interesting. A little blue on blue violence going on.
Yep. So what's this situation going on in the world of women's hockey? I mean, it was big enough that it actually got on ESPN for a while.
Yeah, here's a T-ball for you. Knock it out of the park.
Okay.
Well, bang.
I would need a T-ball. Well, it feels like old news to me now, but
It's old
It's
news,
not-
but it's still relevant.
Yeah.
Because it keeps evolving.
Because it happened like the day we released the last
right,
episode.
yeah.
But
It's like, crap, we've got to record again.
It's still an ever-evolving situation.
It still is, yeah.
Because for all we know, a new team could just pop out of nowhere.
Could, maybe, maybe the
We're
NHL
looking
will
at-
get their heads out and took us.
We're looking at you, Philly.
And actually support them, but we'll see what happens. So basically, late March, early April, they announced the CWHL announced that they were going to be folding as of May 1st.
Boo.
Well, it's good and it's bad because
Well, didn't they have that weird team in China?
yeah, and then they also have one in Boston, and so it's like
Yeah. How are you the Canadian Women's
Right.
Hockey League?
I don't understand. But I don't know if it. Anyway, so so as of May 1st, they're folding. So I mean, it's good and it's bad because I've always been an advocate for the one league. Like I really think they should have been one league in the first place. The NHL was like, we're not gonna touch them because they're 2 different leagues and there's a lot of politics going on. So maybe this opens the door to have the NHL kind kind of not really step in. I don't want them to take over, obviously, but at least give them a little bit more support. And
can we keep the executives of the CWHL away from the NWHL? Just keep them away because it seems like they were doing bad.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, but the CWHL was also a not-for-profit institution, and the NWHL is. So I don't know how that structure will change.
But so with they had 10 teams in the CWHL, and are they all gone forever?
Not necessarily. The NWHL has kind of absorbed 2 of the teams, Toronto and Montreal. So that takes the NWHL, the original 4, and then they added Minnesota, so that and 5. So now they're at 7. So that's cool. Because the more teams, the better. The only issue might be travel. Travel's going to be, it's hard because,
you got to have a passport.
Well, there's not just that, but we've talked about it before that these women have, they have full-time jobs. So I don't know how they're going to work out the travel situation, but I do know that they're going to be adding a 24-game season as opposed to, I think it was like a 16-17 home, if you do the home games.
Yeah.
So that's cool. They'll add that in.
But why just Toronto, Montreal? Why not go to like Calgary?
I don't think it's over. I don't think they're done. I think they're still talking. I think they're still negotiating, and we'll see what happens. I definitely feel like this is not done.
Can we get a team in Newfoundland?
Okay.
Newfoundland. I just like saying that, Newfoundland.
So I do know that the NHL is. They were saying, we're gonna bump up our support from 50,000 to 100,000. That sounds good.
It's still nothing.
It's nothing because it's $100,000 for the league, not for
Right.
team, not for players. The league.
There are players being paid 100 times that in the NHL.
Yes.
100 times
what's
that.
funny is the
Single
NHL
players.
is offering that bracket challenge that the NHL is having. The price for that is $100,000.
So if we win, you can donate it.
Donated.
Yeah, right.
We will donate it if we get a creation of a Carolina NWHL team.
Well, and see, here's the
Kidding.
thing with that is the $50,000 before. Okay, so that sounds good. We're going from 50,000 to 100,000. But what really is happening is they were giving the CWHL a 50,000. They were giving the NWHL.
All they're doing is just
50,000.
moving that money over.
They're just moving the money over. So they really didn't contribute more. They're just moving it over. And now, granted, you're splitting this money between 7 teams instead of, what did we have before, 15 combined,
But that 7 teams is going to grow because, I mean, sure, you only have 5 now plus the 2 in the Montreal and 1 in Toronto. But then you're also going to get a couple more. You're not going to sit at 7. It's going to move to 10 teams.
I mean, this opens
You're talking
a huge
about
door.
around $10,000 per team. That's it, $10,000
Yeah.
per
And
team.
That's the money that you've got to pay.
I mean, you're talking to pay
players, yeah.
$10,000. I mean, okay, let's say they strictly use that for payroll, right? You're talking about, and then they use all the other income for all their other expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're talking about $10,000 for 25 women.
Yeah.
$10,000 divided for 25
Do
women.
math on that.
It's terrible.
I'll tell you the math.
terrible.
I'll tell you the math. It's
bad.
It's $400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and hopefully this opens the door for a lot more sponsors. They've got Dunkin' Donuts, who also is a sponsor. I'm not sure what their percentage.
I don't understand Dunkin' Donuts, especially the new commercials with.
Just Dunkin'.
No, not just Dunkin'. I'm talking about the tea, the frozen coffee thing with Pasternak. Really, you're pushing it. I'm here a lot.
I'm here. I think.
It's kind of fun. They did you see that they ran that commercial once as he was actually going into the
I like that.
to the box.
I love that. But I'm not a Dunkin' Donuts guy. I am a Krispy Kreme guy. I am a Krispy Kreme guy.
Yeah, we
North
can tell.
Carolina born and made.
We can
Donuts, yes. Coffee, I'm all Dunkin'. I do not like
I don't drink
I
coffee.
like Dunkin'.
I don't drink coffee. But yeah,
I just drink the coffee I make. I don't trust anyone else with my coffee.
Keurig.
I love me some Dunkin' coffee.
Got that Keurig.
It's Starbucks coffee.
So here's the thing with the NWHL. So let's go over the current 7.
Okay.
You have the Metropolitans in New Jersey. You have the Buttes in Buffalo. You have Minnesota, Toronto, Montreal,
Boston,
and who am I missing? That's 6.
You're missing one of the originals.
Connecticut.
And the Connecticut Whales.
Yeah, I don't blame you for forgetting that.
Looking at the map of that layout, what would you say is the next market?
I mean, they'd have to. I want to say they have to stay in the Northeast because that's where all the teams are. But they went to freaking
Ottawa.
So
you could do Ottawa. You could do Ottawa, but with their NHL,
Quebec.
with their NHL team, would you want
Quebec.
to? You could. Philadelphia.
I think they're pushing hard for Philly.
Yeah, Philadelphia. I
DC,
see that.
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, DC.
Well, you can do a Philadelphia,
Detroit.
New Jersey sort of thing.
Detroit.
Because where did the Riveters play?
They play out of the New Jersey Devils
Practice facility.
Okay, so we're in that area. You could talk about Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Detroit.
Because they went to Minnesota, so put another team out there, they got right.
I mean, or you push for 5 more teams out west, and you have 2 divisions. Or at least
there is a lot of routes they can go, but they need the capital first.
Then if you need the capital, then go to California.
There's a lot of potential with the fact that it's now one league.
Go to California.
There's so much that can happen now.
Yeah, but now the question is, the players from the NWHL, which were a lot of the elite players.
CWHL, you mean?
CWHL, sorry. Which were a lot of the elite players from the Canadians national teams and the Americans national teams. They all played up in there in the CWHL. Will they now come down to the NWHL, or will they just say, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing?
Mm-hmm.
I think they come down, and I think with their star power, they're going to bring a lot more to this league, and because even the CWHL is harping hard on their star power, especially amongst women and stuff. I think they shorten the season a bit just to make it a bit more
competitive,
exclusive to go. Shorten the season.
When?
The next season.
It's going to be longer.
It's going to be longer.
Yeah.
It's 24 games instead of 17.
As opposed to
which I think is better because it gives you more chances to play the same teams, develop rivalries.
I guess, and more opportunities to bring in some income. I mean they're playing at practice facilities.
Yeah, and that's usually the teams that have partnered with an NHL team. Because there's only one team, now that there's more teams. The original 4, there was only one that wasn't partnered with it, and that was Connecticut.
And now Toronto
and Montreal. I wonder why.
There's not a team out there. But, and then the Buffalo Buttes, as I have begrudgingly said before, they're privately owned by the Papulas, who own everything in Buffalo. So
literally, look it up. They own everything,
including that loser status.
So
pretty much.
So there's potential for more partnerships. There's potential for ownership. There's a lot, and it's very exciting, but it's also kind of nerve-wracking because it's like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Well, you got some freedom to move wherever you want at this point,
Yeah, but I noticed the word she said right there. She said partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't we do a partnership?
What?
Yeah, we partnered up with our buddies over at Raleigh Hockey Company to get our new T-shirt.
That is a very forced segmentation, but okay, I'll buy
it. We gotta put it in somehow, and I had to take my chance.
I mean, is this your chance you want to take? Okay. All right. If you haven't further seen, we have our first T-shirt out for Redvolution Rampage in collaboration with the Raleigh Hockey Company and the Red Eyed Rowdies. So if you do enjoy playoff hockey and hockey lives in Raleigh, then this is what you need. So if you go to the Raleigh Hockey Company website, you can use the promo code RRPFAN.
All caps.
All caps. RRP, Redvolution Rampage Podcast fan, for 10% off any merchandise there. Also, look out for our shirt. It will say red, white, and black forever on the back.
As well as our logo.
Sure, they're not buying it for the logo.
Oh,
sure.
come on.
But yeah,
What if we put your face on it? They buy it then.
They will absolutely buy it if it has my beautiful mug on it. I mean, if it has anything, like it has this beautiful mustache that I'm growing on it, money.
Humble people. Humble.
Oh, absolutely humble. You know what I mean?
But yeah, check it out, everybody. Omar's actually wearing the shirt right now, but you can't see it because podcast.
Yes, this is a podcast. You can only hear me.
We're not lying,
You
though.
can't
We're
see
not
me,
lying.
which
He's
is-
actually wearing it.
Sure.
But go check it out. It's actually a for sure. We might have more coming out eventually. We actually have designs. We're working on it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great stuff, especially as we develop some more after the postseason is over, as we're heading towards the draft party and everything. And now we're going to diverge into another weird segmentation.
Weird. It's awesome. You know why it's awesome? Because it'll be so much better. That's what's inside the arena right now. It is so much better.
For those who do not know where he's going with this, he's talking about the new scoreboard we're getting from Datatronics or something like that.
It is Daktronics. And
Daktronics, yes.
Which team did we get it from? The St. Louis Blues? Is it the same one they have?
Yeah, I think it looks like the same one the Blues had. Has the underbelly in it with smaller screens in there for those sitting too close and don't want to break their necks looking up at the bigger screen. By the way,
chiropractors around the area are going to be mad about that now.
Right? But here's the thing. The side screens, which are the smaller screens on the side, are bigger than the main screen is right now.
And it's also a seamless screen, so it's not like there's a jagged edge where it stops. It keeps going around.
Right, it's a seamless screen around, and it's got corner screens and static displays at the bottom and at the very top.
It's so much better than what we have now.
And here's what I'm more excited about than just that, bigger monitor. Ooh, it's that system will allow them to fully use their on ice projector and use it for 3D purposes.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Does anybody remember the 3D effects that they had back in the All-Star game back in 2011?
Talking about the waterfall and stuff.
Yeah, that, and they also had like these 3D projections onto the ice of like all the Marvel characters that they did that year. It was really cool.
So it's just Iron Man?
No. Marvel made like hero characters for every NHL team.
Oh, I sort of remember that one.
Yeah.
We had like the red tornado kind of looking game.
Yeah. It was a really weird concept that they tried. It worked for a tiny bit. I think they were trying to do a comic book, but it didn't. It didn't work out long
for
term.
a tiny bit. It worked for no bit.
Either way, I liked it. I bought the book. I'll admit it, but
So is this what it is? This reckon you don't want to have cognitive dissonance and you don't want to have buyer's regret. So you're just like, it worked. It worked just a little bit. It worked long enough for me to enjoy this book.
What if we took that same technology and remember the gigantic? I think it was the 2002 Canes intro video where they had like the gigantic mechanized Stormy just walking around everywhere.
That's terrifying. What?
If they made that into a 3D projection, that would be great.
That's terrifying. They have a huge inflatable Stormy in the hallway now, and that's terrifying.
Thank you, Tweets by Dano, for showing us that.
And then Boggs, you put a freaking video on it. So, Boggs, thank you for that. If you're in the gym right now, getting your swole on and listening to us, thank you for that terrifying video.
Was so funny.
Yeah.
I
Why?
died laughing when he sent me that picture of him actually in the gym.
I don't know what's more terrifying. I don't know what's more terrifying, the video that he made or looking at Gritty. I don't know. I don't know what's more
Gritty
terrifying.
wins every time. Come on.
Oh, poor Gritty.
Well, does Gritty win most terrifying mascot ever? I don't think he does.
I don't know his
Oh yeah, who do you got beat? Who got beating him?
The Edmonton mascot, the weird lynx that they have.
Yeah, but that's not like a real cat. That's not that terrifying.
The Vegas Knights. mascot.
The
What
new?
is that?
The
It's-
real one
It's
or
a
the fake
new.
one?
It's a new.
I don't know.
Oh, you mean the Gila monster?
The Gila monster. Yeah, that thing is hideous. What is?
That it's the only I believe it's the only venomous reptile that's native to the
Ours is
desert
a
out
pig.
there.
I don't think we've got much
How
room.
about making it a knight? How about that?
Well, they have a knight.
I know, but like, why not make your mascot?
Because it's
a knight?
Vegas. Well, also you want to have you want to have a mascot that's allowed to go places.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to.
Well, the funny thing
So
is,
we need to take your sword away.
Oh my God.
I am a mascot, and plus you need to have a mascot that can. You need to have a mascot that follows the mascot rules, right? Like it can't
Are they all
talk.
animals?
No, the
Not-
rules are that they
not
can't
really.
talk.
Well, I mean,
The knight,
what's his
you know,
name? The mountain. He don't talk.
we're going Game of Thrones here.
the Vegas knight versus the mountain. Are we doing this?
He doesn't
Wait,
talk.
don't we have a connection to the actual Vegas Knight? The guy over there didn't Kiltacaniac say we have a connection with him?
I guess I don't know.
Oh, I saw a picture with them. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Bud Knight was revived.
Yay! Long live the Bud Knight.
So Budweiser.
not the Vegas Knight, the Bud Knight.
Do mascots have to be animals?
I don't think
don't
they don't
have
have
to.
They don't have to be animals, but they have to. They don't because you got Yippee. He's not an animal.
Well, what the heck is the Philly Fanatic?
The Philly Fanatic is an alien, I think. No, I don't know. I think they
It still
What is
counts.
that?
it's all
Cricket?
mascots. What is that, cricket?
Wait a minute. You can't steal you can't steal that.
I'll allow it.
That is one of Omar's catchphrases.
Hey,
I'll allow it.
it's podcast property now.
Yeah, that is true. If you don't know, Omar currently has two catchphrases. One is, what is that, cricket? And the other one is...
Words are hard.
Words are hard. I've used that a couple of times.
Well, guess what? It's going to get turned into a meme.
Just be on t-shirts.
We will. That
Just
will
me, just
I will make that one of
combobulated,
our
just like
t-shirts.
Right.
just me looking combobulated, like words are hard.
Revolution Rampage. Words are hard.
Even though like words are supposed to be my greatest tool,
There's two.
I'm a writer and a podcaster. Like I should have words.
You have two journalists. You have two journalists in the room, and we both say words are hard.
Yeah.
It's funny is that usually I do enjoy all other sports, but I can't help it.
I don't. And that's the thing. I don't care for sports. I don't like it.
Oh my God.
Hockey, I love.
Hello, this is a sports
But I'm just
podcast.
saying, right.
What about
Isn't that bizarre?
What about cheerleading and gymnastics? Your daughter does that.
No, but I do because I love it. I love watching them.
They're staring at her right now.
No, I mean,
Just
I
glaring, death glares at mom.
I don't watch other sports. I don't care about other sports. Hockey is the only sport that I give any kind of watch or anything to.
I feel like I'm the loner here that actually cares about more sports than just hockey.
I mean, I watch some baseball from time to
You watch
time.
baseball and football.
It's like watching paint dry. I can't stand baseball. It's so slow.
You remember you have a former collegiate baseball player sitting to your right.
You know what?
But
Sorry,
Warren
but-
Fogle is listening to this podcast with Greg McKay going, but I like baseball.
I just
She doesn't like my storm surge.
Oh my God.
Why are we listening to this, Greg? Greg McKay's like, well, I got the sticker, so.
Well, not only does he got the sticker, we got his beer sponsor. Basically, hey, we sponsor the McKeg party.
Yeah, we like Greg.
I guess.
He was very nice when he took the sticker. I don't know if he ever actually is listening to us, but
He probably stuck it to his locker and was like, it looks cool there.
Hey, PK Subban, if you're listening, and Lindsey Vaughn hopefully too, we like you guys.
They're not listening.
they're not listening.
We can be optimistic.
I do that to my friends at work. I'll talk to them about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen." You're not gonna
You're not gonna
We can be optimistic. One day we will actually have the clout to get NHL players on here.
I do have some friends at work. Hey, Ashley. That do listen. So it's cool because we have RPD people that listen. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, their hockey team does pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we're growing as a fan base, and we love all our fans. Everyone who listens to this podcast, we do love you.
I mean, heck, our Twitter's gone up, 500 people this season alone?
Right, and the thing is, we appreciate every single one of you who takes the time to listen to us complain and moan about the Carolina Hurricanes for an hour long. And we want to bring out more and more things for you guys. So please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
If you have any ideas, give us some.
Yeah, he's right. We're not operating at a profit here. We do this out of our love for the team and for all the fans of the team, and that not just for the Carolina Hurricanes, but for the Marksmen, for the Thunderbirds, the Checkers, everywhere, all the hockey in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah, we'll take sponsors.
I mean, it'll help cover some costs.
That would be nice.
Because while we're not operating at a profit, we are operating at a loss. But that's okay.
But it's okay because it's coming from our hearts, and
it is.
We enjoy it, and it has become a family and a friendship. And
so tell your friends, hey, this is a great podcast. Spread the word, spread the love.
And
the
I
team.
When they come up to me, be like, hey, yeah, we follow you. Really? Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
Because, like I say, I work at the ice house too sometimes, and they were like, yeah, I overheard somebody talking about the podcast, and I was like, hey, that's me.
Oh, you sure? I thought you were just standing in the corner going, oh my God, they're talking about me.
No, I was like, hey, y'all, that's me. How you doing?
Just have the image of Amanda just staring around the corner.
You talking about me? You talking about me? You talking about me?
God.
Hi.
Wow.
Hello.
I try to talk to children.
I'm Nicolas Cage.
No. Because most of people don't know what you look like. They just hear our voices, so we don't really.
Well, we posted
just
pictures.
For their own good.
There's some.
Yeah, for our own good. That's why we don't post where we live.
And sometimes, though, they'll recognize us by face.
Well, we make it pretty easy for them, especially Omar, since his likeness is on the best marketing
I see your damn
thing.
face everywhere, Omar.
If you don't know, the Hurricanes. If you don't know, the Carolina Hurricanes have a picture of Omar that they use for online marketing.
I think they've used a picture of me more than they've used a picture of Sebastian Aho.
apparently from our friends, tweets by Dano again. Apparently he told us that picture of Omar is the highest marketed picture that they've used all year.
And I haven't received a single royalty check. I need to trademark my face.
Use my image. At least give me something.
Yeah. Hey, our Pride Stick made it onto the NBC hype for the Hurricane playoffs, so we're getting somewhere.
I guess. I don't know.
Hey, you see the Revolution Rampage sticker on the stick, so.
Alright, so.
We're getting somewhere.
We are. Speaking of getting somewhere, we're getting to 2 more home games. We're going to be looking forward to that coming soon.
Hopefully if they have a Marksman playoff game.
Right, so if they win one more game, they'll get to move into the next round, and I think they'll get to at least be...
Tickets are cheap, they're like $10, so...
Yeah, $10 for regular tickets, $20 for ringside seats.
It's worth it, people.
Yeah, it's not terrible by any means. You got Checkers playoffs coming up soon. The first round will come around towards later in the month of April. I think they're going to be starting here next week. So keep an eye out for that as well. So much great hockey going on. Even as the season's turned into summer. And then hopefully it will be a short off season before we get back into a new season. So keep up with us here at Redvolution Rampage Podcast.
Ooh, announcer noise. Look at you.
Yes.
Hey, I'm the radio star here.
I mean, sure. What if you can say it like this? Then I can tell you all about the Redvolution Rampage podcast. So please subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter, or like.
You sound like a
Facebook.
computer.
And subscribe on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is it subscribe or is it follow?
Both. I don't know.
Sure.
Just like us. We don't care. We don't care what you do. Just follow us on everything. We are a bunch of jerks, but a bunch of weirdos.
And apparently we all sound like a bunch of attention seekers because we're like us. Yes, like me. Like me.
Please like me.
It's getting borderline weird.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me, we're tired. We've had drinks.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
the two over there just staring at us like, what are you doing?
Alright. I think it's a good place to close this out.
I think it's a good point to end the podcast when the kids start staring
It's
at
those
us.
damn matinee games.
It is. This is the second time we recorded right after a matinee game.
Couple beers, couple good times.
In a row.
Maybe we should just start doing matinee games only.
Oh god, they're a curse.
Or
They're
we
a
should
curse.
start saying, okay, we recorded on a matinee game, here's your warning.
Right.
For real. Should start out, this has been a recording on. And then just say the time. Following a Carolina Hurricanes win or heck loss. And exactly how we feel about today.
Oh my gosh, oh my
Drink
gosh.
responsibly. Don't drink and pod.
Don't drink and pod, don't drink and drive.
Are you okay, Omar?
I'll live.
Oh my god.
Y'all are killing me.
I guess. Warning.
I can't breathe.
Warning. This podcast was made under the intoxication of alcohol. Please do not do this at home.
Which is exactly why we're in the shed.
But if you do this at home, please put it on YouTube or it will be hilarious.
Which we won't do right now. Alright, so.
Yes.
So we got some videos up on YouTube. Please check those out. Until next time, though, I think this has been a great episode. I'm Omar.
I'm Zach.
I'm Amanda.
And this is Redvolution Rampage.